Operating Officer, Viacom. He leads the network's national brands aimed at youth and adult audiences, Hindi youth music and English entertainment offerings, and a brilliant pianist himself, which I have seen. Give it up for the effervescent Raj Nayak. The Bible, the encyclopedia of entertainment. Give it up for Mr. Samir Nair. See your applause. Entertainment. Chief Operating Officer at a leading global company in the Indian film industry entertainment world, Eros Now. His expertise comes from complex mandates across mobile marketing, content syndication, and distribution. Mr. Hussain, can we have you on stage, please? He is the Chief Content Officer and Head TVF Kutiapa, and also the Director of hit web series such as Permanent Roommate Season 1 and 2, TVF Tripling, and Ye Meri Life Hai, Samir Saxena. He is the co-founder and CEO of Array, one of the country's foremost original digital content brands. Array offers multimedia content across genres and formats and has won many international and domestic awards. Ajay Chacko! And the man behind Pocket Aces, Anirudh Pandita, on stage, please.
Let me ask the audience, because the topic given to me is very interesting. I have my own views. I'm not moderator, so I cannot be like any of the TV anchors. I don't want to name them and take sides. So I'm going to try and play it neutral. So the topic, as I understand, is entertainment and buzz in the digital medium. Am I right? Truth or hype? That's the question. So let me start from my right. Let me start with Mr. Chacko, a dear friend. So tell me, what is your views?
Hello. I think users kind of define whether it's hype or reality. So I had actually 3-4 points to talk about, but I'll start with the most obvious one, which is, since Raj, you, I, and a lot of here have seen many different eras in media, actually have seen print as well, right? So I've been in print, then we spent a lot of time in television, and now in digital.
I've followed in Ajay's footsteps.
Thankfully, you didn't have to do print.
You did. I started my career with print.
Oh, yeah. You did as well, so you know what it is. So what we saw with print, like, we've got about 400 million users, or rather the readers in India who consume print, right? We have about twice the number, which is about 800 million at least, if not more, which is about 19 million households, 19 crore households, which is about 800 million users on TV, right? Print took about 100 years to get there. TV took about 25 to 30 years to get there. We have around 400 million or thereabouts of internet users right now. Probably, taken 8 years, 10 years to get here. So I think the question whether it's hype or reality should be kind of looked at with the lens of data as well. So if you look at the clear lens of data, I think it is a reality. It is here to stay, and it is growing at the rate at which it's growing. TV is matured. I don't think there's going to be either TV or digital kind of scenario in India for a long time. I believe that the moment we cross 500 million, which is very soon, I think you will see a fairly, these questions will become academic as, do people watch TV, right? So my belief is that it is a reality and it's not just hype.
So you say 500 million people watching on the digital medium.
Watching, consuming. So if you look at...
No, fair enough. I just wanted to come back.
Jio's efforts is proven one thing, that if you give anybody data, 85% of the data goes towards watching video. So I think that is a no-brainer as well, right?
Okay, fair enough. Ali?
I think It's a transition period right now. So I think we like to jump the gun as a culture. So I think it's a transition period right now where people tend to kind of just take a dump on the platforms. I think TV still is a phenomenal platform in terms of reach and viewership across the country. Yeah. So I personally believe that there is a transition period right now. I think the distant reality where actual hardcore consumption shifts onto digital is happening, but it'll take some time. Because I think both from, we think of it from technology and data and numbers, but I think you have to look at the customer from a habit and a stigma standpoint. So I personally believe that there will be a transition that will happen in the near future. But currently, I just believe it's the society that kind of rallies around this buzz rather than the actuality of it.
Samir? Right to left, yeah.
Actually,
I'm just trying to get everybody's thoughts and then we will...
At this point of time, the very fact that we're discussing this, or whether this is hype or reality, and it makes
it's a reality, there's no doubt.
It comes into these kind of things, is that it's quite real. Currently, as Ajit was saying, that, there are already so many phones out there. There is so many screens out there, actually. People are already consuming video on these devices already. The thing is that at this point in time, the video that they are consuming is essentially all the video that's available from other medium. They consume a lot of TV, they consume sport, they consume music, songs, all sorts of things, which is not necessarily video created for this, right? So we don't seem to see it in that manner. Every time we talk about, even you talk about monetization or about how impactful all of this is, it always gets into, but TV is bigger or film is bigger or all of that. But the fact is that all of us, and we know that, use this online media, we use social media for marketing. Almost any TV show that launches, any movie that launches, depends heavily on this medium to put the word out there that XYZ is coming. So I think at this point in time, what's happening is that there's a very large audience out there that is getting familiarized and getting used to looking at a screen in their hand for whatever they are doing with it, but they are sort of doing that at this point in time. The question will be at what point this tips to being something that has been created specifically for the screen as compared to being used for other things. I think that's what we are waiting for.
I think...
Samir too.
Yeah, Samir too. Samir Saxena out there. Hype is that we all gentlemen here are going to talk a lot of sense. Reality is that music is going to play out soon. And well, I agree with I think what Ali and Samir has said. This is too early to talk about this. But if you look at in terms of quantity and quality, when it comes to quantity of digital entertainment, yes, it's a reality that it's growing fast. It's growing immensely fast. The penetration is huge. There's a lot of audience, new audience that is coming onto digital shows, digital platforms. When it comes to quality, there's the reality is some really good content is being made. The hype is a lot of good content is being made. So I think that's where it is right now when it comes to hype and reality.
I think one of the things when we have these discussions is we miss the new formats of content that have emerged because of the phone. So when you look at a platform like Musical.ly or what's called TikTok now, you have the ability to make music videos sitting at home. And I think short video, music videos, if you see live streaming, these are different formats. When we think of entertainment here, usually it just becomes shows versus shows. Actually, there's no advantage there. You can see that Netflix has proved it. They're doing what HBO's done. They just got digital distribution before HBO did. So I think, is there a hype? Yes. But I think the hype's more on the fiction content. I think the reality is that people are spending a lot of time through the day. When Facebook says 40, 50 minutes a day, they're not spending 50 minutes in one session. They're spending it 1.5 minutes. So that's snacking. The kind of formats that are there are different. So actually you're going to see, that's why you see stars today emerging from various parts of India doing very different things from what a Shah Rukh Khan did back in the day. And I think that's where you're going to actually see different innovation, and that's where the excitement is, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, that brings me to my next question. So what is digital content? I don't know how many of you watched season 1 of 24. Yeah, can we have some hands up in the, yeah. So, and how many of you watched Sacred Games? Yeah. So that's a good thing, right? Now, which one is digital content and which one is television content?
Actually, good question, Raj, because
we keep saying digital content,
no,
TV
I don't.
content.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. So I think what some of us were referring to also is that after you see a user, number, you need to understand what is the structure of consumption, right? So if you look at structure of consumption, the difference between digital and non-digital is in one line. Consumption that is probably much more individual in terms of its idiom and storytelling, as against something that was meant for a household or a large number of people. So whether it's 24 or whether it's Sacred Games or whether it is some other TV shows.
24, and I'm trying to make this a little more engaging. So if 24 had to run on, say, Netflix first, we didn't have Wood that time, okay? So what do you think?
This filter has to be,
how would it be different? How would it be different? I'm just asking you this.
I don't know whether it will be different. So for all you know, it may work, right? The point is, but it will what definitely will not work is stuff that is created with the housewife and the surrounding milieu of sanitized household viewing on an individual medium, whether it is OTT or non-OTT, whatever you call it. But you may not end up with that amount of traction, because the reason why you're creating that, the mindset with which you're creating, is not necessarily keeping the individual in mind.
How do you define household viewing? Would Sacred Game be household viewing or not?
No, definitely
Why? Because
not.
there's sex involved in it?
No, I don't think it's about sex. It's about the idiom of storytelling. It's about the kind of people you're targeting.
But if you do a check within the audience, you will find, I mean, this is my research, and it may not be 100% accurate, that anybody who has Netflix in their house, who has watched, if one person has watched Sacred Games in that family, everybody else has watched Sacred Games in that family, irrespective of the age difference.
Not necessarily sitting together.
I want to ask the audience whether my hypothesis is correct. And pardon? His grandmother watched it as well. Yeah. And so again, the thing is, what I'm trying to arrive at, and please correct me, I'm not an expert on digital, okay? But I'm a student, and today is Teacher's Day. So I'm trying to learn from the guru sitting here. So quick question, what I'm trying to understand and arrive at, is OTT or digital, or now we call it OTT, right? Is OTT another platform delivery mechanism, or is it that you have to create separate kind of content? Because on Wood, Nagin does very well, just for the record. And I'm sure some of the shows on Alt Balaji are the same shows. If I put it on television, I'm sure some of them will do very well. So how, I mean, I want to understand from you, how do you relate to this?
So there is no specific type of content that's meant for digital.
Okay.
I think any type of content can go on digital. I agree with you. It's like just another platform. It's just a medium to, another different medium. That's all it is. But there is no definition of this type of content should be made or can be made for digital. You can have any type of content made for digital.
Yeah, and I just want to comment on the point you said, which is you said OTT and this is the same thing. I actually think there's a difference. Because if you look at why television was such a great money-making machine, is that,
no,
production...
sir, digital makes big money.
We can debate that.
We'll come to that.
Television loses money.
But you had always had editors or people holding up a baton. You have to basically pitch to people. And the same thing's happening on OTT. But on Facebook, for example, anyone can actually make a video. And soon, I mean, people like us, whether it's TVF or us at Filter Copy or Dice Media, we would have been just sitting outside, a Star Plus and just holding a show for them to make. No,
it's democratized content, and anybody can be a content. I mean, I can be a singer, correct. I can be a stand-up comedian, whatever it is.
But Raj, let me take this differently. Let me take this differently. I think we tend to bucket all of digital content under one umbrella. I think that's where we actually make a mistake about bucketing all of digital content under umbrella, right? A lot of the content that like Anirudh, Samir are talking about is slightly more in terms of the shorter form, snackier, creator-based kind of programming, which is not necessarily skewed to a single long session. You have the different thing when you talked about Sacred Games versus 24 versus whatever it is, right? Whether it is ideas in general, right? Long form viewing, historically hasn't changed drastically from what filmmaking was to what television is to what OTT will be in the future. And let me hypothesize that with another statement saying that you're watching it on the device today, but eventually with all your smart TVs being connected, you're going back into the family room. So I don't think the medium of delivery is different, but what we're doing is we can't bucket all of content under just one umbrella. On digital, there is different kind of segmentation based on what the audience wants to see.
Yeah, what you said is correct. I've been told, like I said, I'm learning, that there is 1,700 hours of content that's generated across 700 channels every day in India. 1,700 hours of content. And there's 3 lakh or 3 million, 3 lakh hours of content on digital. Okay? Now, I don't know how much of that is UGC and how much of that is general. So, Samir, what do you think? What would be the percentage? Or first of all, I want to ask you a question. Is YouTube an OTT platform?
Yeah, I mean, see, OTT, as in by very definition, is over the top.
Yeah.
Right? And
it's gone over.
Yeah. And YouTube is, in a sense, the original OTT.
Okay.
Right, to start with. I
Fair
mean,
enough.
it's the biggest sort of open platform. Anyone can come onto it. It's available to everyone, and it exists. It's on your phone as an app.
Yeah.
Now, about the number of hours of content that are getting created, when you talk about the 1,700 hours on TV, that includes all news channels, all of
Yeah,
it, right?
everything,
In its
everything,
entirety.
everything.
Which includes movies, music,
And 3 lakh
all
hours
of that stuff.
is also your short formats and things like that.
And yeah, so therefore it's all the short format, all the movies, all the trailers, all the TV content also comes onto this, because all OTTs carry the TV content.
Yeah.
Right, in a sense.
Yeah.
And then beyond that, this thing, coming back to this comparison you made about content, is that, just to make one sort of clarification, what we are seeing today as drama series, which is being talked about so much and all the hype is around that, is really what the US called premium television, right? That is what it was. So that's why, to answer your question, would 24 make it onto a digital platform? Of course it would. Because it came out at a time 5-6 years ago. It was essentially premium television in an age of massified television, and hence it didn't rate, right? If it had,
rated.
It rated. In fact, it did quite well.
Just to put things in perspective, Samir,
It rated well.
mine, I don't know what is the download of total Netflix in India. Anybody can tell me? I mean,
What is the?
Netflix, how many people downloads are there, Netflix app?
Forget downloads. I'm told
No, no,
about
no, but-
500,000
but-
users are there.
Subs, कितने? 1 million. Okay, मैं तो बोलता हूँ दुगना कर दो उसको 2 million. So if everybody watched Sacred Games, it's 2 million people would have watched Sacred Games. Plus piracy. Now keep that aside. Okay, so I don't want to tell you how many people watched 24. So,
No, 1.5 is about 15 million. Yeah, it's a good number. That's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
But what happens is that the drama series that are being created is a type of content for the web. Apart from that, there are millions of other types of content. The main thing what happens with online consumption is that it's different from the other mediums in the way the medium operates. Television requires you to follow a schedule. Movies require you to go to a theater. In this medium, you can do a lot of things on your own at different times in a very individual manner. And that's why it's not necessarily that the content is different as much as your behavior is different. And as your behavior changes, you start doing different things.
Yeah, I think you can view it in the how you spend your day,
Okay.
essentially.
So I have another question. I mean, like I said, I'm learning, so if I make a mistake, pardon me. But the thing is, would anybody here know of the 1,700 hours that is generated on television every day, what percentage is consumed every day? And take a guess. 60%, 70%, 10%, 5%? No, overall, what is total hours of television that's produced is 1,700 hours across everything, and the total consumption of that, what percentage would it be? Anybody wants to take a wild guess? You'll get a bottle of Distillery free. इतना भी बुरा मत करो यार. Pardon? Yeah. It's less than 5%. Okay. Samir, I want, and my understanding is, based on the impressions and on the digital medium, is less than 1%. Okay. My next question is, this is the fastest growing medium, and I think Reliance Jio has come and opened the pipes, and I think that's been the biggest, it's given a big push for consumption of data even in the smallest of towns. And I have no doubt that it will only open up. There's no doubt about that. So my next question is, I'm told there are 4.5 lakh videos that is served every day outside of Facebook. Okay? Yeah. Facebook. Facebook is not included. So, whilst your Netflix has a subscription model, your Amazon has a model, what happens, and big OTT players like Star or Voot or Hotstar, Voot, whether it is ZEE5 or Sony Live or something, because I think 95% of the content is anyway something that we curate or create within the system, so we push it on our own pipes. So what is the future of individual OTT players who create original content? Because I still haven't found the right monetization model, and I'm trying to figure this out.
They'll die.
Pardon?
They'll be dead.
They'll be dead.
No, let me, Raj, I think you need to look at the question in a different way, right? When films were made, essentially, you were looking at being able to go and make an event with popcorn and stuff like that and take your family and watch a movie, right? Television was essentially skewed to women, essentially skewed. I'm saying the largest target audience was skewed to women that was 30, 35 plus per se.
Actually, I saw a tweet this morning, which I retweeted, which is actually, it doesn't say that.
No, I'm saying historically. I'm not saying today. I'm saying historically. I'm talking about 5, 10 years ago, right?
Because today's morning, the data which I saw, which somebody tweeted from BARC, and the youth, there are more number of youth watching television today than there were before.
No, but we did a dipstick.
No, this is whatever it is.
Yeah, we did a dipstick and we checked with users.
But it's not coming at the cost of each other. That's what.
Correct.
That's what.
Correct. It's complementary.
Yeah.
But what happens is when you have the youth, essentially that only watch channels like Bindas, MTV, Channel V, which aggregated did 10 hours of programming. I'm talking about when I was in Viacom, which was exactly 10 years ago, right? 10 hours of programming was catered to the youth and they were completely underserved. So now what you're looking at with the youth, and I'm saying not the youth in terms of a demographic, but more in terms of a psychographic. Everybody on the stage can be youth today if they want to be, right? From a psychographic perspective, absolutely. So the point I'm trying to make is that the consumption habit is changed to what's slightly more voyeuristic in nature or what's more interesting in nature. What was catered to a day-date time or an appointment viewing has changed to slightly wider in terms of the audience demand because they're also exposed a lot more to Black Mirror. They're also exposed a lot more to a Narcos. So suddenly what happens is that they're looking at what the Hindi version or what the Indian version, and hence this entire hype around drama, and hence you see Netflix and kind of Amazon chasing that wild goose kind of a number, right? So I think what you have to look at is the habits and the expectation from the customer have gone up to what is the new target audience of today, which is more psychographic rather than demographic, if that makes sense.
I also think it actually has to do with how the industry will evolve. Because the industry, the first thing they think of is shows. They're not used to, we've made so many short videos because we didn't come from the industry. So we said, okay, people are consuming content on Facebook or YouTube, we're just going to make short videos. Now we make shows as well. So I think that's a big, big issue here because we always basically divide it on basis of shows. And shows are not the most watched thing on the internet today, right? If you, most of what Facebook is showing are short videos. And today you don't have a programmer who's programming it, an algorithm is programming it for you. And people are watching different durations of content through the day, and therefore that algorithm actually becomes really important. And the easiest example, the way I think about it, is your platforms are like e-commerce stores. They're like Walmarts of content. So they're going to have different shelves. They're going to have all kinds of content. And it's no longer enough to divide audiences on the basis of Sec A, Sec B, D, right? Someone could be from Kanpur and be listening to Kanye West. And I grew up outside India and I listen to Himesh, right? And don't judge me for it, but that's how it is. And there are taste communities online, and you'll see this. I was reading Hotstar's report on the Watch report, and that's what they said. Basically, people who you think are not going to watch a specific kind of content do. And that's what Netflix data says. And these cohorts don't have names. They're just cohorts.
See, Raj, I'll bring in a slightly different point of view on this because we are distributed not just on our own platform. We are there across about 23, 24 different OTT platforms. So we get data from a lot of people as well, right? I think the structure of consumption in news has got disrupted on digital big time. So revenue models have got screwed and what have you. But the structure of consumption of entertainment essentially hasn't changed all that much as we like to believe. Let me add to what I'm saying. While Facebook and YouTube, etc., and 4 lakh minutes and 5 lakh minutes sound like big numbers.
Because 85% of the revenue today still comes from Facebook and YouTube.
But it's peanuts, right? Okay. In terms, if you were to compare it to broadcast revenue, it is really nothing, right? So
थोड़ा सा rear view mirror देख के इसमें ज़्यादा read करना is also like you were talking about how Nagin or whatever is consumed a lot on a OTT platform that Viacom 18 runs may not necessarily be the only way to look at this business, right? Because the availability of original content, the availability of data has changed this everywhere. So if you look at the structure of consumption, even if you were to refer to the Hotstar report or the others, right? Even if you look at Amazon data and Geo data, the moment you give people data that is not costly, they start watching longer and longer shows. They start watching stories that require deeper engagement, involvement, which means franchises, which means they watch episodic content, which means they watch seasons after seasons of stuff, right? Which is a behavior which is not extremely different from television either. And worldwide, that is what has happened.
Yeah, yeah. There was this whole thing about, you know, the millennials or the youngsters, whatever, they don't want to watch long format. They only want to watch long format. That myth has gone because binge viewing is all about watching long format.
Initial theories. These were initial theories when data was absolutely, you know, kind of pricey and what have you. Right now, if you look at, I mean, especially when we look at our own data, I can tell you that if you give people cheap data, great storytelling, franchises that actually have episodic content and multiple seasons, they would rather prefer that. Two, from a monetization point of view, let me be very clear. I don't know how much money you make out of Facebook or YouTube. It cannot sustain any half decent quality content. Let's be clear.
So let me add to that.
See, Ajay, because my own estimates and from friends in the industry, I've heard that Sacred Games was made at cost of about 4 to 5 crores an episode. 4.5 crores an episode.
Yeah.
So.
But that's a loss leader for them, right? So
no, it's a loss leader.
Yeah.
No,
so it's like putting Big Boss.
Yeah. No, it's no longer a loss leader. Okay. No, but my question is, I think we missed the main point here. One of the things, and this is my viewpoint, because we will come back, I've got a little time. I think one of the things that we've missed is that I was listening to the last panel, the writers panel, and I can see Hansal sitting here in the audience. I think one of the things we've missed is the fact that this is the best time for Indian content creators, because when House of Cards was released, they didn't do a single penny advertising in this country. Everybody saw it, right? Let me tell you, all my friends in Canada, US, and UK have watched Sacred Games, and they haven't advertised it there either.
Yep.
So I think what we are missing the plot is we are only looking at India as a territory. I don't know whether we're missing or not, but that's my observation. I think the opportunity for us now to create an Hindi language or a Kannada language or a Tamil language which will be watched across the world, because if you can watch Narcos, which is in Spanish when you don't understand the language, I see no reason a Marathi show can't go global. I think there's an opportunity there.
Yeah. In fact, the opportunity right
which
now,
I don't think our content creators are looking the way we should.
No, we are. See, a lot of what you don't see is what is happening. Frankly, what is the amount of digital content that has been created in the last 1
year? The next
year?
question I have is, and this is a question that will come to all of us at some point, how do you compete with that kind of budgets? Even if it's a loss leader, they will do a few more loss leaders. They'll need to. Because they have set the benchmark so high, you set expectations, now you can't go back on your expectations, right?
But Raj, you all have only proven it, and we have earlier proven it.
मैं तो moderator हूँ यार, मैं टोपी अलग पहना हूँ इस वक्त.
जो भी टोपी देखो, अगर आप decide कर रहे हो कि you want to now play this game, you can easily say that I'm going to go regional.
No, Netflix and Amazon can do it. Netflix has a market cap which is huge.
I'm not even talking Netflix.
I'm talking about
as Viacom 18. Let's say Viacom 18.
Yeah. How will even a Hotstar and a Wooten, how do you expect us to compete with this kind of budgets? I mean, I'm just trying to say.
Why are these budgets so outlandish to you?
Okay.
We have already done this.
Okay.
As in, you'll do 5 shows like that, not 50 shows. The 50 shows will have a.
And I don't think it's only about the budget. No, I think it's a lot about the storytelling, the narrative.
No, that is all there, but still.
Yeah, the budget plays a role, no doubt about it. But I think you'll see what in the next course of a couple of years, you're going to see some creators do some fantastic shows across. It doesn't have to be a name creator, there'd be unnamed creators, there are a lot of new names being born. We're currently working with a lot of kind of upcoming creators which we feel are doing fantastic work, especially from the story narrative point of view. We're also upscaling from like the blind production capability with the talent capability. And you're going to see stories traveling. That's going to be like the first burst out of the country. And the next stage of that is, I think once the monetization models stabilize a little bit and start making some sense, you're going to see them upscaling. So I think that burst is going to
add to this, I mean, Raj, while this may sound very cliche, but I think it's good storytelling at the end. You know, this medium is anyways expanding. So maybe you may not come out with a show with a big noise, which, you know, can have with big budgets. But if you have a good show, it will slowly through. It will slowly reach the audience. People will talk about it. I mean, our show, Ye Meri Family, it released like a week after Secret Games. But it has been watched across the globe now.
No, because I still haven't been able to say what is a hit show on digital media. I still haven't been able to understand
No one
which
knows
is a
that.
hit. Nobody
No,
knows
nobody
that.
knows that.
Nobody
It's
knows
common
that.
currency.
I want to also give the audience a chance because, you know, you may have more intelligent questions than I do. So would anybody like to ask any question to this panel here?
It has to be a rapid fire. We just have 2 minutes.
No, don't worry. They won't. His sponsor is sitting here. Come on.
Yeah.
All
No
right.
questions?
Everybody ask your question to
Okay,
Anirudh only.
quick rapid fire. I'm here. Raise your hands and I'll come there. Sir, आप हाथ उठा रहे हैं कि खुजला रहे हैं sir?
अच्छा, अगर questions नहीं है, I want to give one minute to each one of you. If you were the MyBap of in this country where you can make any difference to this industry, okay, where you were the decision maker and you had all the resources at your command, what is that one decision that you would make to grow this industry?
I would invest in platforms that are not doing long form content. I generally think those platforms are a dime a dozen right now. You asked a good question earlier. How will these succeed? They won't. Platforms that really leverage the mobile phone, whether it's live and interactive entertainment, personalized entertainment, short form, those are the platforms I would actually fund.
I think Vijnesh need
Everything up from legislation, anything you can speak about.
Yeah. I'll just talk about
It's
the
an
creative.
so that I'm giving you a free...
Correct. We just need to keep up with the times. We need to be updated with what the audience is looking for, you know, and also appreciate all types of content. I think that's something lacking that we have in our industry in general. We still think that digital...
That's okay. For award shows also, people don't come and
like
applause others.
For us.
So it's okay. Even in award shows, the industry doesn't come together to applause others like in an Oscars, but that's okay.
Correct. But again, I mean, appreciating all types of content is extremely important, and making all types of content extremely important.
I think, if you have that position, then I think I would put a lot more investment into content creation of all types, but a lot more investment into it. I think coming after 20 years of TV and of the way the whole industry has evolved and the way we are looking at the whole digital business now, is that the monetization equates to cheap. That if it's cheap, then it's easy to do because there's no money to be made. And I think that's wrong. I think you need to spend a lot more money. All industries are built by building audiences and by building viewership and by building consumption. And that doesn't come out of cheap stuff. So I think you invest a lot more in content and you'll find your consumer.
I'm going to agree with what Samir said, but I'll talk about one thing we haven't spoken about at all is data sciences. You have the opportunity to understand your customers better and personalization to a different level. It's literally on steroids. I'm just saying this because nobody's covered it. It's not what I do.
See, very privately, we have a very important bottleneck that we want to cross. If I were the MyBap, I would say, boss, मेरे को सारे 500-600 writer दे दो अच्छे, जो story अच्छा लिख सकते हैं, because there's a big crunch right now as far as writing is concerned, because television writing is a very different kettle of fish. I think that's our, and the other one is obviously measurement. You know, the fact that we don't have a common currency does not give you a leaderboard of who's watching what, unlike even a sample-based medium like television has that, and digital not having it is a shame, actually, if you ask me.
Okay, last question, so that... oh, you had a question, please. Yeah, please. Can I pass you the mic? नहीं नहीं आप बैठो आप रजनीकांत हो आप बैठो
अरे सर नहीं सर मैं डांस करके जाता हूँ
If I can ask my question first.
Okay, please go ahead.
Which
अरे
one of us?
पहले आप चलो
Okay, thank you. I just want to ask you, all are the stalwarts of the industry. Apart from the medium, like what is more difficult, content creation or the distribution? Like you are saying
it's a
like
sponsor question. Sponsor question.
I think content creation
is more difficult. Any day.
you are asking like you are competing with Netflix and all. They are best, like they are curating mostly.
No, but there are better distribution platforms more than Netflix in India. I mean, Jio is a good example. Or Hotstar or Voot has got much larger audience base.
And there are better storytellers than Netflix also.
Yeah, I think content creation is the challenge there. That's what I feel. Correct me again. Yeah, please.
Raj sir, yesterday I'd gone to Siddhivinayak after a long time. I took a train. I went to Siddhivinayak. I was standing in line. And for 2 years, I've been hearing about how digital could take over the traditional TV content. But while I was standing in line, I kind of realized that maybe they would be seeing a lot of their phone. But I don't think Netflix and Amazon would really would be their cup of tea. The reason I'm asking you is this: do you see the current digital trend affecting TV immediately? Has it already done it, or is it going to happen?
TV has been growing. Regional channels are growing. Hindi mass entertainment is growing. We've got our movie channels are growing. Zee has launched another movie channel right now. It's growing. So audiences are growing for television. It ain't going nowhere in a hurry. But having said that, digital audiences, when I say digital audiences, people watching on the digital medium is also growing. Majority of it at this moment is also television content which is going through that pipe because there isn't enough content. And there are a lot of original shows also going through that pipe. I don't think it's growing at the cost of each other. I think the viewer is the ultimate winner because the viewer has more choice and he can choose to watch when he wants to watch, what he wants to watch. Even advertising is not growing at the cost of each other, which is a good thing because overall if the industry grows, it benefits all. So advertising is also growing in TV, but probably the percentage of growth is less because the base is so high and the base is so low in the digital medium, so the percentage growth will obviously look higher.
So again, I'm just again asking, so has digital audiences, which I don't think has affected traditional Indian mass?
I don't think there's a digital audience and a TV audience. This is my view. I think an audience is an audience. It's like water. I believe that content is the new water. It will flow through different pipes. Someone will package it as Himalaya and sell it to you. Somebody will give it through a tap. So a viewer will consume content irrespective on which platform he is or which platform it's available, if he wants that content. Let me tell you something. Tomorrow if we run IPL only on digital, the whole world will go and watch it there if they want to watch it. It's as simple as that.
But Raj sir, my question was more specific. Was more towards fiction, because our Indian market is very different as compared to the one TV household, which is still there, largely predominantly there. Do you think that digital has started taking away those audiences is my question.
Not really. It hasn't. At least data doesn't show that.
Sir, his basic motive was to let you know he went to Siddhivinayak to wash away sin, sir. That was the bottom story, sir.
अगली बार जाओगे तो हमारे लिए भी दुआ मांग लेना.
ठीक है, एक रापक पारी की एक फटाफट only 10 second वाला question, no 25 questions back to back. Sir, ये इंसान पिंक शर्ट पहन के आए हैं आपके लिए, sir. Only for you, sir. तो, sir, 10 second question,
सवाल इनको पूछो, मैं moderator हूँ.
I have a simple question. We are seeing a growth of long form shows. What is the traction on episode 1 and episode 10 of a particular show? Because everybody is talking about shows, but how many people are actually following through?
Good question.
For a majority of the content and not just a named content.
I guess, for example, I'll take examples of maybe like a Pictures. Pictures happened like 2-3 years back when nothing was there. And first episode of Pictures was about, again, 30 minutes duration. But then with every episode, the duration kind of increased. And people stayed. People stayed because they liked the show. They watched the show. Their attention issue was about 90% at that time. And 90% is huge. You know, and this is, again, I'm talking about 3-4 years back. So it's very, I mean, I don't have a number for that.
Again, I think that's true for television or digital. It's the same thing. So if the show is good, people will continue watching it. If the show is not good, they'll drop out.
No, I don't think there's enough shows right now to be able to create an average which will be saying that this is the average across comedy versus drama. I think there isn't enough data, but I'm saying good shows will get a lot more view through. And that's relevant, as Raj said, for television also. And you're going to get crappy shows that are basically people going to drop off in the first 3 seconds.
Yeah, and you have repeat viewing also of a lot of shows. So you'll see sometimes episode 4 of a Little Things or something of Pictures will get many more views. But if you look at what has happened in America, actually the percentage of scripted shows that are renewed has fallen a lot because there's so much content that people have produced. So that'll happen here as well. There's no doubt about that in my mind.